Welcome everyone. In today's class, we are going to discuss about the complete details of Wazuh. Wazuh is an open source XDR and open source SIEM. SIEM is nothing but Security Information Event Management. So Wazuh is very important for the security engineers who will monitor the endpoint devices. So the endpoint devices are nothing but our organization devices like PC, laptop or any other servers. So these are all the endpoint devices. So you need to open the Wazuh website. So you can see the advantages of Wazuh. So Wazuh can be useful in terms of endpoint security, threat intelligence, security operations and cloud security. So these are all the capabilities of Wazuh. So after that we are going to install the Wazuh for our Windows. For that you need to open the documentation. So in the documentation you can see the download option, that is the virtual machine. So you have to open that link. So after that you can see the documentation for the virtual machine. So you need to download the Wazuh using the virtual machine OAuth file. So you have to open that. And then you can see the download option is started. So after the download is completed, you need to open the OAuth file. So you can use VMware or VirtualBox. Based on your own choice, you can choose any one of them. So I'm going to choose VirtualBox. So you need to select the folder for the Wazuh. After that, you need to select Finish. So you can see Wazuh is imported in the VirtualBox. So after that, you need to select the settings. So in the settings, you have to select the in the settings option, you have to select the system. So and then you have to select the RAM size 8 GB and then processor must be 4 CPU. So that's the requirement for Wazuh. And then display option 128 MB for the video memory, and then VM SVGA option. You need to select that option. You need to check for the OAuth file, and then you have to select the network. In the network, I'm going to use the bridge adapter. In the advanced, you can select allow all Prometheus mode. You can select that option. And then you have to select OK. So these are all the settings for the Wazuh in the VirtualBox. After that, you have to select Start. So you have to wait for the starting process. So after that, you can see the Wazuh password and username is generated. You need to type the username and password in the Wazuh. So I'm going to type the server login. First, you need to type the username and then password is nothing but Wazuh. So after that, you need to convert to root user. For that, you have to type sudo and then you have to type the -i. So that's the command for the root user. And then you have to clear the commands. So you need to type these 3 commands for starting your Wazuh. The first command is for starting the Wazuh manager. So for that you need to type systemctl. So for starting the service you need to type systemctl and then start Wazuh manager for starting our Wazuh manager. After that you have to type the second command for starting the dashboard of the Wazuh. For that you have to type systemctl start Wazuh dashboard. Then you have to type the third command for starting the Wazuh index. You need to type systemctl start Wazuh indexer. So you need to wait for the process. So after that you need to check for the status. So you have to type systemctl status Wazuh dashboard. You can see it is actively running in our website. So that's it. We have successfully installed Wazuh in the VirtualBox. So you need to check for the IP address. For the Wazuh, you need to type IPAS and then you can see the IP address of the Wazuh dashboard. So you have to copy the IP address and then you have to open the web browser. So you need to copy paste the IP address in the web browser. So after that you can see Wazuh dashboard is available. So if you faces any error in the Wazuh manager or indexer, you have to check for the documentation in the Wazuh website. So you have to type the admin. So you have to type the username and password. After that, you have to select login. So you can see all will be started in the few moments. So that's it guys, we have successfully installed Wazuh for our endpoint device, that is the Windows. So this is the GUI for the Wazuh. So in the navigation bar, you can see the options like home. So that's the home page of the Wazuh dashboard. And then explore. In the explore, you can see the options like discover, dashboard, visualize, report, alert, maps, notification. So these are all the explore options. So in the endpoint security, you can see the options like configuration, assessment, malware detection, file integrity monitoring. So these are all the options available in the endpoint. And then you can see the threat intelligence, you can see the threat hunting, vulnerability detection, MITRE attack, and virus total. So if you want to find any vulnerability in your endpoint devices, you can use that options. If you want to find any MITRE attack in your endpoint, you can use that options. And then you can see the virus total. So virus total is one of the website that can be useful for the security engineers. So you can use the virus total API in the Wazuh dashboard. After that, you can see the security options. So in that, you can see the rules and regulations like PCI, DSS, GDPR, HIPAA, NIST 853 and TSC. PCI DSS is nothing but payment card, and the GDPR is nothing but general data protection, and then HIPAA is for the health protection, NIST is for the National Institute of Standards and Technology. And then you can see the cloud security, you can see the Docker, Amazon Web Services, that is the AWS, and then Google Cloud, GitHub, Office. If you want to secure those AWS, Google, you can use Wazuh. So after that, you can see the server management. If you want to manage your server, you can use that options. You can see the endpoint, summary, groups, rules, decoders, list, status, cluster, statistics, logs, settings, developer tools, rule set test, and then security. So these are all the options in the server management. And then you can see the indexer management. If you want to create a new index, you can use that options. Index management, snapshot management, security, sample data, and developer tools. So these are all the options in the indexer management. So in the dashboard management, you can see the API for the Wazuh. So you can use other APIs in the Wazuh dashboard. So these are all the options in the Wazuh dashboard you can use for your security purpose. So after that, we are going to discuss about how to add the agent in the Wazuh dashboard. So the agents like our Linux, Windows, Mac, or any other server. So these are all the agents. We are going to discuss about how to add the agent. So for that, you need to select that option, add agent. So after that, you can see the options like Linux, Windows, and Mac. So these are all the agents which can be added in the Wazuh. So in the Linux, you can see the options like Debian package and then Red Hat package. So if you want to use the Kali Linux, you can choose Deb. If you want to choose any Red Hat Linux, you can choose RPM. So there are many options. I'm going to choose Windows. And then you have to type the server address. That is nothing but our IP address. So you need to type the Wazuh dashboard IP address. So you have to type that address in the server. So and then you can see the optional settings. You have to type your agent name. You can type your own agent name. I'm going to type Windows 10. So that's my Windows. So I'm going to type Windows 10. So the agent name must be unique. So that's why you have to type unique name. And then you can see the code for running the agent in your computer. For that, you have to copy the code and then you have to open the PowerShell in your Windows. So if you use Linux, you can choose root terminal. For Windows, you need to choose PowerShell. So I'm going to copy paste the code from the Wazuh. So after that, you need to wait for the Wazuh agent to be added. So that's it. The Windows agent is successfully added in the Wazuh. So if you want to start the agent, you need to type this code. So you have to type start service and then Wazuh. So after that, you can see your service will be started. So you have to refresh the Wazuh manager. So after refreshing, you can see our Windows agent is successfully added in the Wazuh dashboard. So we can see the IP address, group, and then operating system. That is nothing but our endpoint Windows 10. And also you can see the cluster node version and then status. So status must be active. If the status are stopped or disconnected, you need to active the state. So our Windows 10 is successfully added in the Wazuh. So after that, we are going to open our Wazuh agent, that is our Windows 10. So we are going to discuss about what are all the events generated by the Wazuh in our agent. So and then you can see the MITRE attack counts for your evolution and then compliance and then recent events. So these are all the events generated by the Wazuh. In the MITRE event, you can see the top tactics, that is the defense evasion. So in the threat hunting, you can see the options like in the dashboard. So if you know about the Splunk, so Splunk is also same as Wazuh. So you can see the authentication failure and then authentication success. If any hacker uses brute force to log in into your computer, then Wazuh will generate the authentication success and then authentication failure. If success, it is in the authentication success. If failure, it is in the authentication failure. So Wazuh is very important in terms of security engineering for monitoring the endpoint devices. So you can see the dashboard. So in the threat hunting, you can see the security alerts like new Wazuh agent is connected, Wazuh agent is stopped, and then Wazuh agent is started. And also you can see the tactics and techniques. So the tactic is nothing but the defense evasion. So when the Wazuh agent is stopped, it is considered as defense evasion. So there are 3 events generated by the Wazuh. So you can also see the same results like agent start, agent stop, and connected. And also you can see the fields like role description, ID, level, agent IP. You can see the agent IP, that is our IP, and then agent ID, agent name is nothing but our Windows 10, and then data extract, that also Windows 10. So these are all the fields which can be useful for monitoring our endpoint system. So if you want to search anything in the Wazuh, it will be considered as query language. So Wazuh uses SQL. So for SQL, it is kind of like open search dashboard query language. It also same as SQL, but it is in the different name. So it will be considered as DQL, dashboard query language. Also, if you want to change the time, you can use that option. If you want to select the real time, you can use now option. If you want to select any year, month, you can use absolute. So in the absolute, you can see the years. If you want to select the first time, that is 00, that's the first time of the day. So the last time of the day is nothing but 23:30. So that is nothing but 11:30. And then relative can be date between ranges. So after selecting the time, you can select update. So you can see new event is generated, that is software production service scheduled successfully. So by using the Wazuh, it will generate the event in the real time. So you can also discover the other things like file integrity monitoring. So file integrity monitoring is nothing but if any changes in the file, the event will be generated. And then MITRE attack. So if any MITRE attack is generated in your computer, it will show the MITRE attack tactics and then techniques. So MITRE attack is nothing but encyclopedia for cyber attacks. It contains all the tactics, techniques, procedures done by the hackers. So Wazuh uses MITRE attack website for finding any MITRE in your devices. So in the framework, you can see the options like tactics. So you can see the tactics. So tactics is nothing but hacker methodology. So the first one is the defense evasion, credential access, execution, impact. So only one tactic is generated in our endpoint device. that is the defense evasion. So if you have more tactics, then the information will be stored in the Wazuh. So that's it guys. In today's class, we are discussed about how to install Wazuh in the Windows 10, and also we are discussed about how to install the agent for our Wazuh. So Wazuh is very important for the security engineers in terms of monitoring the endpoint devices.